The room was suffocatingly quiet, not the calm of order, but the stillness of dread. No cheers, no grandstanding, no viral entrances heralded the moment. This wasn't a performance, it was a reckoning. The spotlight didn't shine on a politician or a pundit, but on Kash Patel, the newly appointed FBI director, who entered the Congressional Oversight Committee chamber with a folder labeled FBI Oversight Briefing, Representative Jasmine Crockett. There was no bluster in his demeanor, only the weight of evidence. Every committee member had a copy, yet none dared open it first. Today wasn't about partisan battles. It was the system turning inward, a rare moment when Washington's machinery paused its usual theater to confront itself, a shift driven by a nation weary of unchecked excess. Patel had ascended to his role amid a storm of political fatigue. A former prosecutor and intelligence operative, he'd cut his teeth, dismantling corruption rings with a methodical intensity that left no room for theatrics. His nomination, pushed by a bipartisan coalition fed up with institutional leniency, marked a turning point. An FBI no longer content to let elected officials skate by on charisma or hide behind identity. Patel's mandate was clear: restore trust through accountability, no matter who sat in the crosshairs. Across the room, Representative Jasmine Crockett shifted uncomfortably. The freshman Democrat from Texas, known for her flashy defiance and social media prowess, sat stripped of her usual arsenal: no tweets, no cameras, just the unrelenting glare of federal scrutiny. Crockett's rise had been a carefully crafted spectacle. Born and raised in Dallas, she'd entered politics as a public defender turned state legislator, her sharp tongue and bold persona catching the eye of progressive organizers. Elected to Congress in a wave of Democratic enthusiasm, she'd campaigned as a voice for the marginalized, a black woman unafraid to challenge power. Her district embraced her as a symbol of resistance, her viral clips of fiery speeches racking up millions of views. The Democratic Party, desperate to refresh its aging roster, had seized on her energy, molding her into a star, louder, flashier, and more defiant than deliberate. Party strategists saw her as a bridge to younger voters, a weapon against a polarized right. But beneath the sheen, her legislative record was scant, her substance perpetually outshone by style. When the hashtags faded, the subpoenas arrived. Patel began, his voice icy. As FBI director, it's my duty to report elected officials' conduct involving ethical breaches, financial misconduct, and potential threat amplification. He clicked a remote, and a screen flared to life. On the left, Crockett at a human rights campaign gala, champagne in hand. All I want for my birthday is for Elon Musk to be taken down. Applause roared. On the right, security footage from a Tesla plant 2 days later, a bomb threat, a detonation device, and a note echoing her words. Take Elon down! Patel's accusations sliced through. She may not have made the bomb, but she lit the fuse. He cited social media accounts radicalized by her rhetoric, dozens of posts from fringe groups parroting her phrasing, some with her face photoshopped onto revolutionary icons, others calling for direct action. This is stochastic incitement, reckless speech that radicalizes without accountability, he said. Crockett shrugged it off. It was a joke. Patel's retort was swift. So was Hang Mike Pence, and your party wanted prosecutions for it. Next, a podcast clip. Crockett laughing, I got hired as a public defender because I'm black. Period. Patel didn't smile. That means merit is dead. You cheapened every woman, every person of color who fought for competence, not clout. Crockett rolled her eyes, a gesture honed from years of dismissing critics, but Patel pressed on. You were installed for convenience, not qualifications. Democrats don't fight racism. They reverse engineer it into policy. Then, a letter from the Gann family. Stop using our son's name for political gain. Patel accused her of exploiting their grief for fundraising, not justice, doubling down when asked to stop. The left harvests pain for slogans, he said, not healing. The family's plea had gone viral briefly, but Crockett's refusal to back down, claiming it honored their son, only fueled the backlash. Metrics followed. Since her swearing in, Crockett attended 28% of committee hearings, missed 19 votes, and passed 0 bills, yet trended on Twitter 41 times. Are you a lawmaker or a live streamer? Patel asked. The Constitution doesn't care if people love you. He closed his binder. This isn't censure yet. It's a formal notice. Congress harbors officials who confuse activism for legislation and microphones for weapons. The FBI serves the law, and the law is watching. Crockett had arrived with flair, fire, noise, and a smirk. But Patel rewrote the rules. She'd built her career on viral moments, leveraging her identity to rally a base tired of stale politics. Her motivations were complex, part genuine zeal, part ambition, fueled by a belief that volume could substitute for results. Her district had elected her for her audacity, but her tenure revealed a pattern: performance over policy, optics over outcomes. The applause faded, the lights burned hotter, and her smirk slipped. This wasn't theater, it was evidence. Patel's investigation had been meticulous. Months earlier, a whistleblower tip from her office had triggered a quiet probe: interviews with former staff, subpoenas for financial records, cross-checks with FEC filings. A former aide's affidavit emerged. We prioritized media over constituents. When I raised concerns, I was told that's how she wins. Emails between her chief of staff and vendors revealed a strategy: boosting clips for optics, skipping town halls for MSNBC appearances. You served the algorithm, not the district, Patel said. Funding grew murkier. $1.3 million in questionable PAC donations, $420,000 funneled to a firm owned by her cousin, payments traced to a home linked to her treasurer's sister. Expense records showed $1,245 for makeup, $879 for a salon, $3,100 for a hotel stay to promote her book, all billed to taxpayers. This wasn't incompetence, Patel said. It was intentional grift. An assault on a journalist in Houston, shoving a camera, corroborated by witnesses, added to the pile. The incident, caught on shaky bystander video, had briefly trended under number Crockett confronts, but her dismissal, "They provoked me," fell apart under sworn statements. Identity can't shield behavior, Patel warned. Patel submitted a 47-page referral for an ethics investigation: misuse of funds, FEC violations, staff abuse, and press intimidation. A surprise affidavit from her former treasurer confirmed pressure to hide funds through a shell company dissolved after scrutiny. Crockett erupted, "This is a political lynching! You're canceling a strong black woman." Patel's response was calm. "This isn't cancellation, it's consequence. Your record is dragging you." Her defense leaned on identity, a tactic that had rallied supporters before, framing criticism as racism or sexism. But the room wasn't a rally. It was a crucible, and the evidence outweighed her words. Headlines erupted. Washington Post, FBI refers Crockett for ethics probe. Fox News, Patel exposes fraud. Even MSNBC conceded the receipts were real. Her allies went silent. No tweets from the squad. No party defense. Patel concluded, this isn't a debate. It's an institutional correction. The chamber's integrity belongs to the people, and today they see you. Crockett's brand, rebellion, representation, disruption, crumbled. She'd sold herself as a fighter, but the fight was now against her own actions. The Ethics Committee convened an emergency hearing, issuing a memo. Financial mismanagement, unreported PC coordination, and conduct unbecoming a congresswoman. Democrats fractured. Representative Spanberger demanded integrity. Golden cited accountability. Leader Jeffries let the committee proceed. Crockett's defiance, flawless hair, tactical makeup, met a cold reality. This is a political lynching, she insisted, her prepared statement echoing her campaign's fiery rhetoric. But the committee wasn't an audience to sway. It was a jury with evidence. Representative Johnson listed violations, luxury expenses, funneled funds, missed hearings. Chip Roy moved to strip her committee roles and refer findings to the DOJ. The vote, 238 to 179, left her powerless. Petitions soared past 250,000 signatures. Her district demanded resignation. Her Instagram darkened, podcast offers vanished. She wasn't a brand anymore, she was a risk. The progressive machine that had lifted her, booking her on talk shows, funding her PACs, abandoned her when liability outweighed optics. Even AOC distanced herself, focusing on the future, a future without Crockett. The national reaction was seismic. In Dallas, constituents picketed her office with signs like, "Where's our money?" and "Resign now." Local radio hosts, once her cheerleaders, turned critical, dissecting her expenses on air. Twitter became a battleground. Some mourned her as a martyr, posting "Tonker stand with Jasmine," but most mocked her with memes of receipts and empty chairs. Cable news split predictably. Fox reveled in her fall, CNN grappled with the optics, and MSNBC's analysts admitted she's indefensible. Beyond her district, the story tapped into a broader frustration. Voters tired of politicians who prioritized fame over function. The Ethics Committee's final report recommended DOJ review, suspension, and revoked access. The DOJ confirmed an investigation, assigning a grand jury within days. Crockett's final statement, "I won't resign," rang hollow, delivered to a half-empty press room. Her party scrubbed her image. CNN canceled her panel. On Monday, she stepped away from duties, leaving no legacy, just a wrecked staff and a betrayed district. Constituents who'd once cheered her now felt duped, their trust replaced by anger. Donors sued for refunds, editorial boards turned. The New York Times lamented, "The Crockett experiment broke under its own weight." Patel didn't gloat. "She was never a congresswoman," he said, a quiet indictment of her tenure. The unanimous committee ruling and DOJ grand jury sealed her fate. Crockett's experiment, racial weaponization, digital deflection, fiscal corruption, snapped under audits. She'd treated Congress like a content farm, identity as immunity, but the system said enough. Her final defiance landed unheard, drowned by the weight of 47 pages of affidavits, financial trails, and recorded calls. The aftermath rippled wider. Her district faced a crisis of representation, with local leaders scrambling to restore faith. Her staff scattered, some leaking more to save themselves. Others faced their own legal scrutiny. Her PACs froze, triggering lawsuits from donors who'd bankrolled her rise. The progressive left moved on, replacing her with fresher faces, but her collapse left a scar, a cautionary tale of charisma unchecked. Patel's approach, methodical and unyielding, set a precedent. He'd outmaneuvered her, not with noise but with facts, turning her platform against her. His investigation exposed not just Crockett, but a broader rot. Politicians thriving on spectacle while dodging duty. Nationally, the fallout reshaped discourse. Pundits debated whether Crockett's fall signaled a reckoning for performative politics or a fleeting purge. Some saw Patel as a hero restoring integrity. Others feared an overreach, a weapon for future vendettas. Her case became a litmus test. Progressives vowed to tighten ranks, conservatives hailed a victory, and independents shrugged, tired of both sides. In classrooms and barbershops, her name lingered as a synonym for hubris, a lesson in how far one could stretch before snapping. Crockett retreated from public view, her once loud voice reduced to silence. Her district prepared for a special election, its voters wary but resolute. The country watched, not laughing, but remembering what accountability sounded like. Not a scream, but the quiet click of a sealed file. Patel returned to his office, his mission ongoing, a reminder that the law doesn't bend for volume or for anyone.